All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, May 7th. We got two NBA playoff games on today's slate. We're going to split up those two games into two separate videos. So in today's video, or this video, we're going to be going through game number one of the Celtics and the Cavs series. I'm going to give you my lean on the spread. I'll give you my lean on the total, and then I'll talk about any player props. There's three of them that I like in this game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where all of my final plays, so what I'm rolling with myself, all of my final plays will live. If you do want to ride with me, or if you do want to fade me, shout out fademe.store. But keep an eye on that pinned comment. In terms of last night, we had a really good night in the Knicks and Pacers game. We go 3-0 there. Realistically 2-0 because we split a unit, 0.7 units on Siakam's under PRA and then 0.3 units on his under points plus rebounds. So realistically a 2-0 night. But we give it all back in that Nuggets and Minnesota game. Nuggets minus 5.5. That does not happen. They lose outright. And then Michael Porter Jr., I believe, even only hit 1-3. By far his worst game of the playoffs this year. So, yeah, not the best Nuggets and Minnesota, which we'll talk about that when we cover that game in their game number 3 because Nuggets are in a tough spot. Even no Rudy Gobert, and they struggled last night. That Minnesota defense has proven to be absolutely legit. But nonetheless, nothing to brag about here. Pretty much a 2-2 night. Yes, it looks like it's a 3-2 night, and if you're plotting, I'll take it. But realistically, 2 of those checks are one play with the Siakam play. But the vibes don't get any better when it comes to the ride of the day. Shout out to Joey for trying here, but he had Jaden McDaniels over 12.5 points plus rebounds. McDaniels has now burned us personally and now the ride of the day, taking his numbers. He's playing plenty of minutes, playing incredible defense, just not filling up the stat sheet. So unfortunately, this ride of the day does not come through. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, all you got to use is that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. I jump on board with one person's pick, and I give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you win, we continue to ride with your pick. I'm also shouting you out over on my Twitter, which will be flashing up here in a few moments. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social medias. We're posting different type of content across there. A lot of player props over on Instagram. And again, all of them will be rotating through here throughout today's show. But new ride of the day up for grabs. Get that hashtag ride of the day. Get those hashtag ride of the day comments in the comments here. Before we do jump into this game, I want to let you know about a nice deal going on over on Sleeper Picks right now. First off, if you are not on Sleeper and it's available in your state, I do think you're missing out on what I would consider my favorite DFS player prop app as of right now. If you don't know what it is a player prop app. You combine 2 or more plays into a slip. The more you win, the more you get paid out. And they're making constant enhancement and adding features. It's really cool. Like yesterday, they just launched the combo plays, which essentially you could put, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 players into a slip. You don't have to hit every single one of those correctly to get paid out. Now you can hit 4 or 5 or 3 or 5 and get some return there as well. Really cool. They have alternate lines, and today for new users, they have a Luka Doncic free square, 0.5 points. Go throw that in your slip. It just absolutely boosts whatever you're going to do anyways. What I love about Sleeper is the constant enhancements, and each and every play you throw in there has its own unique multiplier. So Luka's 0.5 points, right, holds his normal lines multiplier, and it affects the payout. So go check it out, guys. You'll also get your first deposit completely matched if you use the link in the pinned comment. I'll also put that link in the description if it's easier for you guys, but we've been using Sleeper for over, almost 2 years now, right? By far, the app that's making the most unique enhancements. So go check it out. That link is in the pinned comment. You get the Luka square with that link. You get the deposit match, and you'll get to see all of the enhancements that they're making. Sleeper Picks, guys. You can sign up using code GUYBOSTON if you can't find the link, but that link is in the pinned comment. Go ahead and check it out. But let's jump into this game. We'll start with the spread here. Celtics right now favored by 11.5. Kristaps is out, as we know. I believe Jared Allen is questionable. Not sure if he's going to get the run here. Regardless of it, I don't know if I love the spread. I do think the Celtics win this game. I think that they win this series. I have a future on them to win the championship, so no kidding. I think that, right? But what I will say is 11.5 points seems like it's a lot. Like, this Cavs team is not the Miami Heat team without Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, etc. Like, as a Celtics fan, I can admit that was not a full-strength Miami team. Do I think that that's the reason they won? No. It's fine. We beat you by 20. It would have been beat you by 10, right? So I do understand that that's different. This Cavs team has a few more playmakers on it. Obviously, Garland, Mitchell, that type of thing. Maybe even a better defense when you break it down without those guys in. But overall, this Cleveland team just went through a really hard series with Orlando, and to be honest, I'm sure Cavs fans were thinking that Cleveland was packing their bags during that game at a couple different times, and then they came back and win it. But nonetheless, my point here being the Celtics almost cakewalked through their first series. They lost one game, but all the other wins were in dominant fashion. The Cavs, against a much inferior team to the Celtics, had to struggle to even win games. When they were at home, they won. When they're on the road, they lost. In Boston here, game number 1, I can't help but lean towards the Celtics, but I will say, and I'm kind of talking out both sides of my mouth here, winning by 12 is a lot. Like, the Celtics could win by 7 points, dominate the game the whole time, and still obviously win by 7 points. So I probably don't end up laying the points in this spot. Maybe we look at some sort of a teaser because I also like the over 210. So if we do some sort of a same game parlay teaser where maybe we can bump the Celtics down to -5.5 and bump the total down to 205, something like that. We'll update you guys in the pinned comment, but I do think that this is a spot in which the Celtics should be able to score. I know Cleveland has a good defense, but we just saw, like I said, a good defense in Miami, though I think Cleveland, especially with Allen, isn't missing some of their best defenders. If he's out, then entirely different story. But the Celtics should be able to give you, a floor of 105. Not that I think that that's the cap. I think that's their floor of scoring today. So for them to give you 105 and Cleveland hopefully to be able to give you at least 100 plus as a floor, I think that we could be looking at a game total that's anywhere from 210 to 220 here. And even with the Celtics, like against Miami, everyone was saying how slow paced those games were and all that. Celtics in their last game, 118 points. Before that, 102, a little bit slower, right? 104. These are all in like 20-point blowout wins. Imagine if this game's a little bit closer than 20 points. I think we end up seeing an over. Now, I have gotten a couple times by over so far in the playoffs, but that is where I stand as of right now. In terms of player props, like I said, I got 3 that I'm liking. This first one, and we're jumping on over to Outlier, guys. If you don't know what Outlier is, it's my favorite player prop research tool when you're talking about trends and defense against being able to look at matchups, last 5, last 20, head-to-head, that type of thing. It's an amazing tool. You can also see all of the sportsbooks lines out there. Go check it out, guys. That link is going to be, I don't even know what that was. That link is going to be in the pinned comment. You get 7 days free with that link as well. You combine this research with sleeper picks playing, game over. It's game over. But nonetheless, guys, first player is Darius Garland. Now, I'm not necessarily sitting here saying I want to look at his points. I almost want to take a peek at his points, rebounds, and assists. You look at him against the Celtics. He's done this in 5 of his last 6. The one that he didn't, he finished just a half, points, rebound, or assist shy. I also like his over 8.5. My one concern is the fact that we're going to need some minutes from him. Now, a lot of these games, if I actually look at the head-to-head, a few of these games went to overtime, so it's a little misleading, but this is a guy that really hasn't thrived in the playoffs overall. He has for rebounds plus assists, but when we look at his scoring, he's been kind of hit or miss, so that's why I'm still trying to figure out where I do like him. But I honestly, rebounds plus assists is something I like. His points is something I like because, again, he's done this plenty against the Celtics, right? But points, rebounds, and assists may be a catch-all that I'm not necessarily minding, and it's going to come down to minutes, right? When he plays a bunch of minutes, he should have the opportunity to be able to produce, and this has been like the Darius Garland show, the Donovan Mitchell show as of late. I understand that, but seems like Darius Garland, especially if the Celtics are throwing all their attention at him, should be able to benefit from that. So Darius Garland, over 24.5 PRA, but like I said, I like his rebounds plus assists. I don't mind his points either. All have decent odds on the books today. Second pick is going to be Al Horford, over 8.5 points. So you look at this and you're like, okay, he's only done it in 2 of his last 5, 4 of his last 10. On the season, only 41%. But Kristaps Porzingis is out, right? Immediately when you say no Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford's hit this in 70% of games. He's hit it in 3 straight without Kristaps against the Cavs. When he does not have Kristaps on the floor, he plays 29.9 minutes this season, right? So let's even forget about Kristaps for a second, and let's say, okay, when Al Horford plays, hell, we can go 29 minutes, we can go 30, it gets even better slightly, but when he plays 29 minutes, he's hit it in 64% of games. Obviously, all 3 against the Cavs. He's done it in 7 of his last 10 when playing that many. So I do think that this could be a good opportunity for him. He's obviously going to get the minutes, and he has the experience. And like I keep saying, I don't think there's anyone on the Celtics that wants to win a championship more than Al Horford. Like, this is kind of his last chance, right? Player prop number 3, and it's just one because we're kind of playing with house money at this point. Peyton Pritchard, over 2.5 assists. Last 20 games here, averaging almost 9 potential assists, so I love that spot from the Celtics. Are 11.5-point favorites in games in which the Celtics win by 10 plus points on the season. He's hit it in 67% of games. Even in just wins, he's hit it in nearly 60%. So I do like this spot from. Take away the fact that they're even winning, right? Peyton Pritchard in the last few games here, playing 23 minutes. On the year, he averaged 22 minutes. But when we say, okay, you're going to play at least 23 minutes, 90% hit rate on this. So I do like this spot. Only 4 games the entire season in which he played 23 plus minutes and didn't hit it. So I don't know why they keep keeping this line pretty low, but we've literally been cashing it. So even if this doesn't cash, I'm sitting there being like, we're playing with house money with that Pritchard prop at this point. But those are the 3 player props that I'm liking. As always, guys, like I keep saying over and over again in this video, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That's where all of my final plays will live. So maybe I don't roll with the Celtics minus the 11.5, right? Maybe I don't look at the total. Maybe all of a sudden, upon further research, we want to put more and more hours into this. I don't like Garland tonight. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. Everything that I'm saying, I do like. So don't get afraid being like, oh, are you going to change your mind? No, it's almost like I like it. Do I love it? And that's where it becomes a final play. But if you guys have been watching for a while, you kind of know how that works. But appreciate everyone tuning in. If you did like the video, go ahead and like the video. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button as well. You guys have been absolutely killer supportive as of late, so cannot thank you enough. For putting out tons of content. Doing a video for each NBA game separately is kind of cool as well. It almost reminds me of when we did our Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football videos. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, appreciate all the support, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.